you will marry Ada. You've caused her more harm than good. You made her lose a child.
Chioma packed her bags the next morning, but something happened that none of them expected. That evening, as Chuka waited at the junction for her, a car pulled up. 3 men jumped out. They dragged Chuka into the vehicle before he could scream. Gone, no trace. The next morning, Chioma waited for hours. No call. No message, she reported to the police. Days turned into weeks. Chuka had vanished. Amora said nothing. She watched silently, until Chioma broke down one night and screamed, "You did this." Amora blinked. "What are you talking about? You made him disappear." "I didn't," Amora said softly. "But maybe the past is punishing us." Chioma's world crumbled. Every night, she checked her phone, hoping for a text. Nothing. 3 months later, she received a letter. No name, no return address, just 2 sentences. "I love you, but I had to go. The past doesn't forgive. Don't look for me." Tears soaked her hands as she read it over and over. Meanwhile, in another town far away, a man with a scar on his cheek stepped out of a bus, holding a new identity, a new phone, and a heavy heart. He looked at the sky and whispered, "Amora." "Chioma. I'm sorry." For weeks, Chioma couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Her mind spiraled. That letter was like acid poured on open wounds. She read it over and over, hoping to find a clue, anything that could explain why Chuka had left. Why he disappeared before their future could begin. Amora moved quietly in the house. She never gloated, never said "I told you so." But something about her silence was louder than words. It burned Chioma more than an argument would have. Then the phone call came, unknown number. Midnight, Chioma picked it up, her heart racing. "Hello." No one spoke. Just heavy breathing. "Chuka." She whispered. The call ended. She redialed. Switched off, she stared at her phone for a long time. Chest thundering, in a dusty, sleepy town called Okigwe, a man named Chidi had just moved into a "face me I face you" compound. He kept to himself. Wore a cap low on his face. Never spoke unless spoken to. But every night, after everyone had gone to bed, he sat outside his room, staring at the stars, whispering 2 names, Amora. Chioma, because Chidi was really Chuka. After the abduction, Chuka had been taken to a remote place by masked men. He was beaten, threatened, and forced to sign a document saying he would stay away from both sisters forever. His hands had trembled as he signed. Then, they released him in a bush at night. He didn't know who sent them. But he had suspicions. Amora. No. Her anger was loud but not wicked. Obina, maybe, one of the elders who knew about his past, possibly, because Chuka had a secret, a dark one. Before he met Amora during NYSC, he had been involved He never told Amora. Never told Chioma, and maybe someone from that past had finally found him, so he vanished again, but Chioma wasn't ready to let go. She traveled to Abuja, then Enugu, then Saka, tracing everything she could. She asked old friends, searched Chuka's Facebook friends list, stalked his Instagram. Then one day, on a random blog about missing lovers, she saw a blurry image. It was him, sitting in the background of a wedding photo, cap low, head down. Chioma gasped. Location, Okigwe. She packed her bag and left the next day without telling anyone. The sun was hot when she arrived in the sleepy town. The air smelled of dust and roasted plantain. She asked around with the photo. Most people shrugged, then a little girl pointed. That uncle. He lives in that compound with Mama Noku. Chioma's heart skipped. She walked. Each step heavy, then she saw him, sitting under a mango tree, reading an old newspaper. He looked up, their eyes locked. Time stood still. Chioma. He breathed. She ran to him, slapped him hard across the face, then hugged him tightly, tears pouring. "You left me," she cried. "You broke me." "I had to," he whispered, holding her. "You don't know the full story." "Then tell me," she begged. "Tell me everything." They sat for hours, and Chuka told her everything. The scams, the threats, the beatings. The letter. Chioma listened, her hands trembling. "Do you still love me?" he asked. "I never stopped," she said. Then he did something that shocked her. He pulled out a small box from under his pillow. "I bought this before our introduction," he said, opening it to reveal a silver ring. "I never got to give it to you." She burst into tears. "I want to try again," he said. "Not in secret. Not in hiding. But with your family's blessing." Chioma paused. "They'll never agree," she said. "Then we convince them," Chuka said, "together." They returned to the village 2 weeks later. When Amora saw him, she nearly dropped her baby. "You have the guts to return?" she asked. Obinna stood up, staring at Chuka like he was a ghost. But Chioma stepped forward. "I'm not asking for permission anymore," she said. "I'm asking for respect. I love him. And I know the past is messy, but my future is my choice." Their father shook his head. "After all the disgrace." "He's made mistakes," Chioma said. "So have I. So have all of us." Then Amora did something unexpected. She walked to Chuka and looked him in the eyes. "You still love her?" "With everything in me," he said. "Then don't break her," she said quietly. "Because if you do, I won't be gentle next time." A new date was fixed. A new introduction was planned. Everything was going smoothly. Until the night before the event, Chioma received a message, an anonymous number. "You think you know him now? Ask him about Ada in Asaba. Ask him what happened 5 years ago." The screen blurred as Chioma's hand began to shake. She turned slowly to Chuka, who had just walked into the room. "Who is Ada?" she asked, and Chuka's face went white. Chioma's fingers tightened around her phone as her voice cracked. "Who is Ada?" Chuka's smile froze, his lips parted slightly, but no words came out. Instead, he looked at the wall, like it would suddenly open and swallow him. "I'm waiting," Chioma said, her voice rising. Still silence. She stood. "You begged for this second chance. You cried. You brought that ring again. But now someone sends one name and your face turns to stone." Chuka finally spoke, low and heavy. "Chioma, I wanted to tell you everything. Truly. But Ada isn't just a name. She's a wound I never thought would bleed again." Chioma folded her arms. "Talk. I'm not moving until I know." He sat down slowly and leaned forward. "Asaba. 5 years ago. Before I met you. I was engaged." Chioma staggered. "You were what?" "Engaged. To Ada." She blinked fast. "You said I was your first love." "I lied," he said quietly. "Ada was my first sin." Flashback. Asaba, 5 years ago. Ada was fire. Wild, free, and dangerously smart. They met in Asaba when Chuka was working with a friend there on a pretending to be widowed engineers or military men. Chuka was the charmer. There was the brain, but Ada wasn't like their victims, she was theirs cousin. She found out about the operation and gave Chuka 2 options: break it off and marry me, or I report you. Chuka, in panic and infatuation, agreed to marry her. But he never loved her. The engagement was bitter, controlling, violent. One night, after a brutal fight, Ada fell down the stairs. She survived, but went into a coma for 3 days. Her family accused Chuka of attempted murder. He swore it was an accident. Still, he fled. Changed his name. Hid. Ada's family swore vengeance. He thought they moved on, until now. Back to present, she's alive. Chioma whispered, I don't know, Chuka replied. That message. Maybe she found me. Or maybe someone who knows. Chioma stood, pacing. So you've been hiding all your life? From Ada? From me? From yourself? I was trying to protect you. Chuka shouted. That word, I didn't want it touching you. But you brought it to me, she said coldly. By not telling the truth. He stood too. Then what do we do now?